Welcome to my diary entry for week 4 of the module WT4028. Last week I was looking at two social issues and one environmental issue. So I was looking at farm safety, then loneliness on a farm, and then I also looked at the environmental issues that are affecting farmers, so the amount of methane and all that's being produced on a farm, and some of the programs that are used to try and lower the carbon footprint of farmers. This week, I decided to focus more on farm safety and agricultural chemical use on in farms. So I decided to look at that issue of farm safety. So first of all, I decided to do some research on the amount of or where agrochemicals are being used and the amount of cases that are being brought up each year. So I went on to Poison's Information Centre of Ireland, where I found the percentage was 161 cases in 2018. That was the last report on it. And I found some of the most common use chemicals that are on farms and how people that die from them. I also then looked at a case study on the Independent of a toxic gas where it injured 5 people. This is in Ireland back in 2012. So I kind of wanted to see. I looked at that issue to see that this is actually a proper issue that I can look at and that I can research a bit further. After this, I went in to look at poisoning then in children. So I looked at the amount of cases. So that was 6,230 cases in Ireland under the age of 10. Now, this is not just in agriculture, but in all chemical poisonings. And then there's also the agrochemical one over here, how that affects children. Now, it's not that much. It's only compared to the rest of them, but it's still an issue. So when I saw this data, then that means that this influenced my design. So now I kind of brought into my design that it has to be able to kept out of reach or some way secure that children can't get at to try and prevent that. I also then looked at the effects that medicines or chemicals, what happens when they occur or touch the body. So I kind of found that the most common ways for to affect are inhalation, skin contact, damage to skin, or ingestion. So when I looked at these, most of these actually came under the same thing. So PPE would actually help prevent all these. And even you can see here, most of the issues are actually on the hands and then from inhalation as well. So I said maybe if I was able to incorporate PPE, a storage area for PPE, just such as masks to stop inhalation and ingestion, and also gloves, disposable gloves, that I could incorporate that into my design as well. I also then looked at Chagas and their schemes that they brought in. So from 2015, all farmers are actually required by law to do a safety training course in this, and they must record all usage of pesticides and medicines in a farm, the dosage, everything. So if there's an inspection on the farm, there has to be a record kept of all that. So I kind of also then decided to maybe on the storage unit, you could have an area where farmers can keep a record of the medicines that you use and the amount that they administer to each of the cattle. I also then had a conversation kind of with my father and brother who are both working on the farm, and I was trying to just tell them my idea and all this. So I was asking for some suggestions from them. And one area that they kind of told me was the actual disposal of the medicines and all that, and the gloves, and even just say the used injection needles and injections. That's actually kind of an issue. So in a lot of places they're kind of just thrown away into a corner. So I kind of decided then after that I might be able to bring in an area to actually dispose of the medicines and chemicals safely. And I think that would also then deal with the environmental issue. That I'd be able to tackle both of them. So that would be kind of bringing the environmental and social issue together. So I thought that was a good idea. So then I came up with my problem safely. statement. So it's to design and realize a storage unit for the safekeeping of chemicals on a farm, which chemicals and medicines, sorry, that should be, which also provide for the safe disposal of chemicals and other waste materials. So yeah, that's kind of where I hope that kind of tackles both the social and environmental issues, and also is a and also then I looked at some initial designs. So this was my initial idea over here that I had back further up on the slides. It was just a storage unit for a bedroom, kind of just for like belongings and things like that. Didn't really have any, but then I kind of looked at it and I liked this idea of having kind of a secure place where that can turn around and keep like different items secure. So maybe you could have your most important medicines inside that little cabinet here, and that can turn around safely. And then you can have this area out here, maybe for your PPE and other chemicals that aren't as dangerous. So I kind of had some initial ideas here. A front view looking at the object down here, and this here is looking at the box and how it works. So you'd have to cut off maybe round this side, so it would actually be able to turn in the middle, and also some just more initial ideas really. And then I kind of looked at at first I had it like this straight, and then I kind of looked at the material I wanted to use, which had curves in it. I was kind of seeing if I could incorporate that. So I actually took a portion of this, of the bench, and I was wondering if I could incorporate it down running along here, and then that could be used on the top and the bottom, and then I could find other waste material for all the bits in here. At the moment, I'm still kind of looking to for designing, because I haven't actually come up with an area to dispose of the different medicines and needles and all that. So I was hoping that I could maybe incorporate that somewhere onto the project as well. But that's all my ideas for now. So next week, then I hope to be able to finish off this design and know exactly where I'm going, and then be able to actually go in and manufacture this then after that.